Thank you, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Small Business Showcase. I'm your host, Ruben DeTiege. We don't have Ms. Taisha with us today, but I'm going to fill in for sure. And by the way, we're going to be rebranding the show. We have some other resources that we'll be bringing in the future to you. You'll see there's a new radio show called Small Business NOLA that goes along with what we're showing here. It starts in about a week, and it'll be Mondays. It'll be on WBOK 12:30 a.m. at 1:30 to 2, and you'll hear lots of good information on there. We'll talk some politics, we'll talk some small business, and we'll have a real interesting segment that the lady's going to like called Hair Talk, and it's going to be hosted by one of the guests that we have here today. But you'll start seeing a lot of good information out. We have e-blasts that we're going to be sending out. So if you get in touch with me, rdteege@hotmail.com, or catch me on Facebook at rdteege at Facebook, I'll be able to give you a lot of good information about all the good business resources we got coming down the pipe, and you'll be able to tie into it. We're having a new initiative called Empower Partners, and we're going to have power partners for everything, and you're going to be able to network and meet a lot of good people. But without further ado, we're going to get on further. Our guests today are the inventors and owners of what we call Treme Hair Care. They have a wonderfully interesting story coming out of Katrina, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Sarita Grace Hall, who is the owner of Treme Hair Spa, and her father, who is Dr. Marcellus Grace, who is the president of Treme Hair Care. I'd like to welcome you guys to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful story you can tell, and you have a product that I think everybody needs to know about. And I think a lot of hair care people don't know about this product. And Dr. Grace had a lot of, being a retired pharmacist, he had a lot of input on putting this thing together. So tell us a little bit, Sarita, one about yourself and a little bit about the product.
Well, I started off basically going to cosmetology school, and after about 11 years of trying to work on a bachelor's degree, which just really wasn't my complete field of interest, although it is assisting me now as a cosmetologist and a business owner. So I went into the cosmetology field and just really pressed forward with it. And then my father was actually presented, or was really trying to start an opportunity where he can do a drug manufacturing company. And he was interested in trying to do the blister packs, but the machinery was just going to cost a bit much for him and able to do that. So a marketer had actually talked to him about doing the field of cosmetics. So then he in turn came to me, and we kind of discussed that, and thought about what product could we do that would be something that we wouldn't need the machinery, wouldn't be totally cost effective, being that we're just going to be new at coming up with this. So we basically did like a focus group where we got a bunch of clients together, and family and friends, and just tried to discuss what was something that stylists, that clients are looking for to basically maintain the health of their hair and keep them with a salon look from day to day and from week to week in between their visits. So it was discussed that a lot of women need moisture, especially here in New Orleans with the humidity in the air. Everybody now wants to do flat ironing services, and then just we as African Americans especially, we have double processes. We have the relaxers on our hair, and in turn we still want to have some color, so we can brighten up our faces or eliminate gray or just whatever. It's just what's playful and what's trendy right now. So in between that, you need moisture retention. So there is a lot of moisturizing type of products on the market, but we were looking for something that was going to be really, really lightweight, that they would be able to use every single day, especially with those double processes on their hair. They need that. So we partnered together and actually compared Tri Moisture, which is the name of the product, to a bunch of other professional products on the market. We kind of went into the beauty supply and purchased every liquid sheen that there was, and sprayed them on towels, look at the drying time, the moisture in it, all those different components that it would entail. And came up with the Tri Moisture, worked with the chemist who was able to come up with different formulas for us. So we tested about 8 different formulas. My business partner and I, playing on our own hair and frying our own hair out, and just trying to determine which one was going to be the best fit. And then that's how we came up with Tri Moisture conditioning hair sheen.
So it really came to a whole process. It wasn't just picking something and just putting it out there.
No, sir.
Now tell me your part in this, Dr. Grace.
Well, as she mentioned, I was struggling to try to get this drug company going, and that just was going to be cost prohibitive. So what we ended up doing, working with the marketing consultant, I asked her, go to the marketplace, find what you think to be the best product that's out there. So she brought it to me one day and I looked at it. You see, to us, drugs and cosmetics are technically, it's pretty much where the FDA kind of draws the line in the sand, if you will. But I look at cosmetics just from one of the courses we used to teach in my other life as a professor called pharmaceutics, and it's just formulations. It's just a group of compounds or chemicals or drugs. And I looked at this particular thing that she really liked, and we came up with these simethicone, dimethicone, silicones. And I had said, this all this is. So we actually, one of my former students, we worked with this, and she said we formulated all that. So I'm sort of the financier, if you will, and the technical guy. I don't know the first thing about hair other than what little I have in my own head, but we're relying on her expertise to use the product. But the technical side of it, we feel pretty comfortable with. So we've been making and selling this product in not great quantities, but it's actually been on the market for about 3 years now.
So Rita, as far as I know, and you can tell me, is there another hair care product coming out of New Orleans right now?
As far as from Treme Hair Care?
No, just in general.
Oh, there's several products that's coming out.
But you are one of the only ones I know of coming out of, and you also made a distinction to tell me hair is hair. And let's tell the audience about that a little bit, because I know a lot of people go, well, I'll go there because I have this grade of hair, or I'm African American or whatever. Let's tell the audience a little bit about what you told me about that.
Yeah, well, hair is hair, and that's just kind of one of my pet peeves. You know, when a client will walk into a salon and, you know, maybe of one ethnicity to the other, you know, do you do my hair? Well, hair is hair. It's just the same as the blood that's running in your veins. It's just the same as mine. Our types are different. And that was the biggest thing with Tri-Moisture, you know, because I am a black-owned company, it is a product that can be used on all textures. The way that hair product works, product knowledge, is basically based on, you know, the texture of your hair, the density of your hair, how many strands of hair you have on your head, whether it's fine, medium, or coarse, is what determines how much product you would use. So somebody who may have a finer texture of hair may not need as much moisture on their hair, simply because their hair follicle will allow them to penetrate their own moisture. So you may have, you know, maybe a lady of a Caucasian descent or an Indian descent or something of that nature with straight hair. This is one of the reasons why they need to shampoo their hair more frequently, because of the oil retention. Whereas you may have someone who may have a natural state. Their hair coil is a whole lot tighter, therefore those sebaceous oils are not able to just penetrate through. Therefore they need more moisture on their hair. So yeah, I mean, it's really it's tricky, you know, trying to come up with that product and getting it out there. And, you know, yes, as far as I know, we are one of the companies in the city of New Orleans. There are some others. There's one other one in New Orleans that I do know of. But as far as trying to educate, I think is what's really, really important, is trying to educate on product knowledge and on your hair, how your hair works. Because again, you know, hair is hair, and there's no such thing as, well, I can't use that on my hair. It's about how much you're going to use and how little you use.
Now you're giving a lot of education, a lot of information. People want to just talk to you about that, or you give them a consultation on whatever you need to do. How can they get in touch with you to just talk to you about, you know, their hair condition or type, or, you know, what kind of things they can use in their hair? Can they call you and talk to you, or email?
They sure can. And the first thing too is that we'll be doing the hair talk segment. I'll be doing that with you coming up on
absolutely. And so they can go to on Mondays, WBOK on 1:30 to 2, and they'll be able to hear hair talk.
Right.
But if they want to contact you, email you, or call you just to get some information, where can they reach you?
They can go to info@tremehaircare.com, or they can call me by phone. I'm open to phone calls at 504-339-7998.
Give it to them one more time.
504-339-7998, or you can email me at info@tremehaircare.com, and that's spelled TREME haircare.com.
Great. Now, I know there's some other products, Dr. Grace. Tell us a little bit about what other things you're working on.
Right now, we're working on it's called a spritzer. Again, this was her idea. Came to me with this about 2 years ago, actually. And we are currently testing 8 formulations that we've come up with. Spritzers are more of a holding type product. the other product that's coming out of the pack that I'm kind of excited about is it's a little different from hair, but it's cosmetics. We've noticed that a lot of people are using these body mist fragrance sort of after the shower. We are in the process of actually, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing some focus groups on fragrances. And I plan to make about 25 different fragrances, and we're going to get a group of people together in 2 weeks exactly. And hopefully in the next 6 to 8 weeks, we'll have the spritzer. We're comfortable with her expertise that'll be probably finished and on the market. The body mist body wash may take a little while longer because it's a little bit more subjective, you know. It makes you smell, you know, there's dozens and dozens of them.
Right.
So we're trying to find our space. But with the spritz, it's again will be more of a professionally oriented product, and we'll promote it kind of along. And I'd like to just piggyback on one thing she mentioned. The real interesting thing about this team of ours is that she's the hair expert, and I'm just a technical guy. I just see myself as one who makes these products from a technical aspect. It's what I learned in pharmacy school at Xavier back in the 1960s. It's actually the expertise that I'm using. We're hiring people like yourself as our consultants with marketing and Facebook and so on. So it's really been interesting because we see ourselves, as she said, it's a package. It's an extension of her hair spa as we see it. And the education component, we're excited about this radio show that we'll be starting next week.
Absolutely.
To get the word out and just educate the general public. Not necessarily just trying to promote our products.
Now, you talked a little bit about the focus groups, and I'm sure this is going to be interesting to a lot of people, because I'm very interested that this is coming out of New Orleans and that this is a homegrown thing. Right. How do people get in touch with people at Tremere Hair Care, and how would they get in touch with you? Say it if they wanted to be a part of the focus groups.
Well, absolutely. Please call me first. The website is www.tremehaircare.com or info@tremehaircare, and they can call me direct at 504-717-1406.
And give them that number one more time.
504-717-1406. And our office, our actually facility, is located at 1735 North Broad Street.
So all of this stuff is really local. This is a completely local and family type of effort.
Family business.
Wonderful. And then, like you said, you're going to be doing some demonstrations in the area, so we'll keep abreast of that, and we'll want people to listen to the radio show, and you'll see a lot of good information on there. And again, Sarita, one more time before they get off there, how did they get in touch with you just to find out about some more about the hair care, hair talk and all that?
Okay, they can call me again at 504-339-7998. Visit the website, tremehaircare.com, or email me at info@tremehaircare.com.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
It's going to be wonderful. Look out for a lot of good information from these people in the future. I think this is a great family story, and they have more to tell, so we'll have them on next month. But we're about to go to break, and when we come back, we'll have Tillman Hardy, who's here with Leonidas House, and he'll tell us about Core USA and some other information like that. And hold on, just come right back.
Thank you.
Merci, merci.
New Orleans would like to say
thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks, America.
We love you.
We don't just say thanks. We play it.
And now we'd like to say thank you in person.
Come on down, America.
come for the history.
Come for the music. Come for the food.
Come for the art. Lots of art.
Come for the fun.
Come feel good.
Come for the people. Come for beignets.
Come for the sweet sounds of jazz.
Come for it all.
We rollin', y'all.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
Come on, what you waiting for?
Where's the whole week? There's no whole week. Hey, excuse me? Excuse me, sir. Something wrong? Yeah, there's something wrong. You want to get me some whole wheat? Oh, come on. Hey, Hey, amigo. Hey, I asked you for whole wheat bread. This is not what I wanted. El Wheato.
Sorry for the confusion.
You know, that's the problem with these people. If you want to serve Americans, you got to learn to speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir. I don't. Enjoy your lunch.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
All right, we're back from the commercial, and we got an exciting guest here I want to talk to you about. Good friend of mine. We've been kind of working together simultaneously in the community at different ends, but we're finally going to get together. But I'd like to introduce all the viewers to Mr. Tillman Hardy, and he's with, I'm going to say it all kind of ways, Leonidas House, Leonidas House, back in Pensiontown, all the different names. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Tillman, let's educate the guests here and the viewers on you, where you came from. Give us a little background and how you wound up back in Pensiontown.
Wow. Well, I'll be here all day if I get to explain
well,
it
give us a
much.
short version. Give me the Reader's Digest version. How you like that? All right.
Well, again, thank you for inviting me to the show. I got to New Orleans in 1999. To study architecture at Tulane, and at that time I first came here living in New Orleans East and moved really quickly uptown because it was much closer to school and work. To make a long story short, I went from there. I worked in several places, including the Corps of Engineers, Preservation Resource Center, and the New Orleans Redevelopment Authority. After Hurricane Katrina, I held that position until after Hurricane Katrina. And after Hurricane Katrina, I moved from what many know as the Black Pearl area, uptown. To
right off St. Charles.
Right off of St. Charles Avenue, to across the avenue to Pensiontown, or AKA Pigeontown, and immediately got to work in my field, which is real estate development. As I was developing the area, those of you who are familiar with the area know that after Hurricane Katrina particularly is very violent over there. We endured a lot of violence and crime. And developer, if you're sensitive to the community that you're working in, you can't help but to get involved in. That's how Leonidas House was born. Simultaneously with Leonidas House, we formed the Pensiontown Neighborhood Association. And it's really, both of those things was about empowering the community to create a more sustainable environment. You can't have a sustainable community with crime and violence. Absolutely. You can't have a sustainable community without the absence, of businesses. I mean, you know that the Leonidas Corridor, Willow Street, and several other streets throughout the Carrollton area used to be these bustling black businesses.
And I didn't talk to you the other day to tell you this. I used to live my senior year of high school. I lived in the 8800 block of Jeanette Street.
Okay.
So I was there.
You were there.
And my family was there for years, but it was closer for me to go to school, high school. So, I know what was there. I know all the stores, the Noble, the grocery stores, and all that was back there.
And I wasn't there, but the literature that I wasn't there at that time.
Right.
When the black communities in Carrollton were at their heyday. But I was fortunate enough to run across this old newspaper called the Carrollton Advocate, and it was a black newspaper, and it was actually printed in the building which I now own, which is Leonidas House, which is at the corner of Willow and Leonidas, 1407 Leonidas. And so I read about all of these businesses, from lawyers to the Hackett Pharmacy.
Oh yeah, Dr. Hackett was there for years, man.
His daughter is still there, holding
Judith,
the fort
Dr.
down.
Judith Hackett.
Dr. Judith Hackett is still there. I read about all of these wonderful soul food restaurants and barbershops and
lounges and taverns.
Lounges, I mean, all of these things that no longer exist.
Right.
And so you just cannot have a sustainable community without businesses that provide jobs, provide security, and business owners typically would live in the neighborhoods, and they would become the backbone of that community.
Now, I want to tell people so they'll know, Oak Street is a part of that community.
Oak Street
and it's coming back wonderfully.
A part of that community, and what we found now is that the community is a bit fragmented, but there is a major effort for all of the communities
to come together
over the years, even though they've changed.
Right.
Demographically, there is a really big push for all of the communities to come back together. And so the more I learned, the more I studied about sustainable communities and how they are designed and how we rebuild communities to be more sustainable, the more I realized that there was the absence of a consortium of professionals that could constantly deal with the facets of communities that were no longer there. So we formed Core USA. And Core USA is a consortium of sustainability professionals that are focused on training, consulting, and project management as it relates to environmental, economic, cultural, and social sustainability. So we have everyone from urban agriculturalists to community organizers to energy consultants, and because of my background in architecture and real estate development, my particular specialty is green building. And so it's funny how things are tied together. Before Core USA was born, I spent a lot of time engaging the young people in my community who were at odds with one another, or doing things that weren't as productive as they could have been. And I found that they didn't have opportunities presented to them that would allow them to have a living wage. Right, to get off of, to stop doing whatever they were doing, or a wide range of things they were doing that they shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
But whatever it was,
to get them into legal activity and something that would be productive for in their family lives also.
Exactly. And myself and members of the community and members of our growing consortium took on that responsibility and try to figure out strategies for bringing those resources, those jobs, those training opportunities to those young people. One of the biggest opportunities currently is green building. From energy consulting to weatherization to solar installation, wind turbines, depending on what area you're in. You know, they're just endless opportunities, and most recently you probably saw the job speech with President Barack Obama.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what was he talking about? Not only was he talking about training for green jobs, but he was also talking about retrofitting existing public buildings and school buildings, which provide jobs for people that have been adequately trained.
Now, before I go any further, people are hearing this and they're going to be interested and they want to run and get pens. Tell them just how, give them some info, how to get in touch with you, just to talk to you about some stuff.
Absolutely. You can call me at 504-298-9556. And you can also email me at Tillman, that's TILMAN, at coreusa.org.
And give me that number one more time.
That's 504-298-9556. And you can also email me at Tillman@coreusa.org.
Now, I know you guys got something coming on. We don't want to talk you know, any admission or whatever like that.
Right.
But don't you guys have something coming up pretty soon?
Absolutely. We have several things that are happening, okay? The first thing that I really want to get out before my time is up is on first Mondays. First Mondays of every month, we are organizing engineers, consultants, real estate agents, investors, developers.
And just residents, huh?
Residents as well.
All right.
Okay. We're trying to get as many people together as possible to talk about this green building phenomenon, infrastructure, and workforce development, economic development, and everything that's related, because there are millions of dollars being funneled into green building programs, and oftentimes they don't reach the people that they were intended for. So we want to have a conversation about that. We're calling it Sustainable New Orleans, and it is located currently at Bridge Lounge, which is at 1201 Magazine Street.
Now when is that?
Every first Monday from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Okay, which is also happy hour.
Yeah, so everybody's invited.
Everybody is welcome. Everybody's invited, and please come.
And I won't get as much information in because we're about to wrap in about 2 minutes. So they can contact you about that, or be at Bridge Lounge on every Monday.
First Mondays.
And it starts at 5 o'clock?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. The other thing I wanted to get out really quickly, and you can contact me about this, but I want your listeners to write this down. Your viewers to write this down. There's the NOLA WISE program, and WISE stands for Worthwhile Investment Save Energy. That is loan money funneled through the city that affords residents the opportunity to get financing for energy efficiency improvements. Okay, and these are very low interest loans that allow them to afford to make energy improvements to their home. There's the Energy Smart program. The Energy Smart program is also a retrofit program where the Entergy New Orleans and the City of New Orleans have dedicated funds to subsidize energy improvements. And so you pay a portion, they pay a portion. But this is a lot of money that's being dedicated, so I want everybody to take advantage.
And I'm sorry we had a short period of time, but give them the contact information because Tillman can tell you how to access this.
Absolutely.
Right quickly.
504-298-9556.
And the email address?
Email address is tillman@coreusa.org. And thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. I think everybody needs to know about this stuff because we're not as into the environment and recycling as we should be, but this man is the resident expert, and we're going to get involved with that. Thank you for another great show. When we come back next month, we'll probably be rebranded in a Small Business NOLA. And thank you for watching Small Business Showcase. We'll see you again next month. Thank you.